To anyone that's watching, I'm Marta and I'll be playing as Jimmy Bullard. As you can see, I've kind of picked an avatar that looks like him as well. On Unibet, just starting to build up a bit of a bankroll from the £10 that you get free with the sign up. He raced to 6x, I don't really know what that means yet, so I'm just going to fold how the weak hand anyway. He 3-bets me when I've got pocket queen, so I'm just going to make a tiny 4-bet. I'm not folding to a 5-bet shove, obviously. So we just assumed that our opponent was bluffing. This is just a €1 sit and go while I'll wait for the other two tables to load up. This player is really erratic in terms of what his bet sizes are pre-flop. He's 6x it, he's 4x it, so he's definitely not a conventional player by any means. He just flats our raise. I don't assume he's got a strong hand because this kind of player is probably gonna 3-bet me with any ace. I'm actually gonna float with king high. It's not something I do often, but I'll just do it this one hand. See if he shuts down or not. A part of me wants to hero call, but I'm not gonna. Jimmy Bullard does not hero call yet. Pocket tens, again I'll kind of try and trap him. The one hand he folds, I actually had a hand as well. Just a bit annoying. I'll just stick to min raising. Big 9 suited. We flop second pair. I'll definitely be continuation betting. I'm gonna call this shove because, yeah, don't give him credit for a king there ever. I think Unibet have a rematch option. I'll see after this game. I'll be calling a shove if he goes all in. It's only 3 big blinds. He outflops it so far. Come on, Jimmy, we need to finish him off. This is a bit of a leak of mine. Short stacked heads up. I think sometimes I'm a bit too tight when it comes to calling from the big blind. When the short stacks pushes into me like 6 or 7 big blinds, I haven't really studied enough, but I think I'll be calling this one 5 big blinds. He has dominated. He'll be taking this one for sure. And Raw the JC's back in it, unfortunately. And one of our tables has started up. I'm just gonna limp. I'm gonna start limping because I'm at this kind of awkward stack size when I have over 10 big blinds but not too many that I can actually play post flop. So I'm just gonna limp and stab. See what he does. He shoves. Doesn't always have to be a good hand, but he could have an 8 and he's still beating me there, so I'm just gonna fold it. Queen 3, I'll most likely be folding if he gets into any action. It doesn't. Queen Jack, once again I'm gonna be limp trapping. Even if he donk bets, I'm gonna call. I have a good shot to the nuts and 2 overs. Good shot and 2 overs, 6 plus 4. We have 10 outs, but again I'm gonna fold. Gonna take the nitty approach against him. I don't think he's going to be folding to my 3-bet shove. If he does, it will be terrible. Yeah, and this player just waits for a spot to get it in bad. And there is no rematch option against this particular player. So I'm just gonna open up a new game. New heads up game. And this one's a 5 max game, top 2 get paid. Both these formats are quite fast in terms of structure. I think Unibet only offers one particular speed. Should I just have a look at that just now? Yeah, there's only one particular speed for both 5 max and heads up, and it's quite fast. You can get a normally 4 table the 5 max games, so I'm just gonna we flop a set. Obviously it's what I was playing for. I'm gonna slow play it. As far as I'm concerned, we still have the nuts. There is a flush draw, so I'm gonna charge him, but I don't put him on a flush draw because he bet on the flop. So when the second club comes on the turn, shouldn't really change anything about his hand. Now that his men clicked me back, I expect him to have 2 pair, hopefully top 2 that he's never getting away from. He has ace 5, which is, I was going to say it's unlucky for him, but it's actually quite lucky for him because he gets the ace on the river. On my heads up game, someone open shoves for 33 big blinds first hand. Obviously I'm going to fold. We don't have any reads about this player. 2-3 I'm actually going to open raise. I'm going to be open raising most of my hands. This board might hit him quite a bit, but I can still represent that I have a king, or... Ooh, this is a bit dicey now. How do I play this? I've got the worst 2 pair. I'm obviously going to bet to protect. I'm going to bet pot and then I'm going to call a shove if he does shove. Yeah, king 10. Okay, so we ran good here, but I want to run better in the 5 max game. Wow, we're actually flipping. I'm calling 3-2 suited. Four big blinds, I'll be going to limp jack 6 suited. We have a flush draw, obviously we miss. But yeah, this kind of play is what you're gonna see, so I would actually, he's probably shoving wide enough that king 7's, yeah, it's kind of a crushing call, but he gets there again. The play is so bad at the $1 level that, or sorry, €1 level that you can definitely crush these games. The rake on the games itself, or on the games, is 3%, so you need 51.5% win rate to break even, which, let's face it, with players like this you should be more than breaking even. I've never actually grinded the heads up games on Unibet, but I assume achievable ROIs are probably 6 to 7%. Okay, so I'm just going to move the stable to the background while I wait for it to load up. Yeah, I just checked down. I had a flush draw, but obviously nothing materialised from that. Once again, I have a bit of an awkward stack. I'm going to min raise. We flopped top pair, so I'm going to see bet. I don't think this guy is going to give me too much credit for that. 270, the pot's 120, so if I make a small bet, say 94. I'm not pricing out any flush draws, that's the thing. If he has a king, he has a king. Has a better queen, which is a bit of a cooler. I was never getting away from a flop top pair. And he's made a comeback. Just check back with 93. He doesn't bet the flop, so I don't think he's got a king, a jack even. Just decent shot, we might be good here with a pair of 3s. I'll be calling a bet on the river. Any river to 6. When he bets the river, I think there's a decent chance, given the way that we've played the hand, that he's taking a stab at the pot, even when he doesn't have anything. He'll probably check back his ace high kind of hands. I'll just fold to that lead on the flop. On a paired board like that, I'm gonna continuation bet a bit less than half pot, so I'm just gonna make it 65. Just because a paired board is much harder for him to connect with, and as such you don't really need to bet that much. 6-9 I'm gonna fold. He was open shoving for nearly 20 big blinds there. Gonna carry on min raising. We flop second pair, he dunk leads into us. I don't give him credit for an ace here ever. Yeah. Queen jack's a bit. First position I'm gonna fold it. It's still early on in the sit and go. I prefer, my style is to kinda, I'm on the nittier side for sure, so I kinda wait for hands and spots to come up. Because these kind of players on Unibet, they will just kinda donate whenever they're in a really bad spot, whereas I've kinda waited for that situation to come up. To this 3-bet shove, he hasn't 3-bet shoved often, so I'm just gonna fold king high. He's not likely to be 3-bet shoving much worse hands. I'm gonna check back 9-7. Here, because we have no showdown value, I'm just gonna bet into him, see where he's at, and then proceed with caution if he carries on. I'm gonna continuation bet with my flop top pair against Marty. I'm not a believer yet. I'm gonna limp and then call a shove if he goes all in. He checks back. I actually put Marie on a flush draw, not 2-pair. Normally when they check raise the flop, they have a 2-pair kind of hand that they want to protect, but I wasn't getting it in with the weak ace. They can kind of forget about that. I don't really know where I am in this hand, to be honest. In the heads up sit and go, so I'm just gonna go ahead and fold it. Sorry about that, opened the wrong window there. The joys of having two monitors. You need to know which one you're using at any time. Checks back the flop. I don't put him on an ace at all. Don't really put him on a 10 either, so I'm gonna check call. Yeah. (10-9), we're gonna fold. I'm gonna fold my 2-pair on the top left table. After this heads up game goes away, I'll just keep it to 2 5-seater games. Saves me from switching. Unibet's a good website, it's a good poker site, but the one thing I don't like is you can't actually make the tables any smaller for some reason, which seems rather odd to me. I mean, it's probably due to the fact that they want to have avatars and stuff fully displayable, which I normally have them off, but just because Jimmy Bullard's making an appearance here, I've decided to keep them on. But yeah, I've got a 21-inch screen, and on that I can only get 4 tables open. Whenever I play on Sky or any other site, I can get 9 easily. So that's a bit annoying, but the games are super soft in Unibet overall. I'm gonna be check calling the river. 7-9. I'm gonna be calling with my flush draw. and we also have a gut shot as well. He's not pricing us out from our flush draw at all. I'm gonna go back to min raising on the heads up game. And because he's betting so small, I actually don't think he's got a king. I really don't put him on a king, so I think I can represent it by check raising the river. But that's exactly what I had, so there you go. He checked back the flop, so I'm gonna make a play for it. He calls me, so I'm just gonna give up on the river. He bets big. I'm assuming it's for value, probably top pair or two pair. I'll be calling a shove. And he has his up kicked. Hopefully we can river him. Yeah, that's always good. I'm not going to be playing another, so I'm just going to stick to the two $5 games. Or, sorry, the two €4 games that are 5 max. So we're playing for top 2. We get 2 callers, but as they've called this, especially from the blinds, well, I expect the small blind to have a decent hand. The big blind can have a worse hand because they had to invest less, but I'm still going to continuation bet regardless. Don't really expect them to hit with 2-7-4 too often. 9-2 suited, I'm going to fold. I'm going to try and observe the action. Another thing about Unibet is that you can't actually take notes on opponents. So for example, if I try to right click anyone, you can't really do anything, but you can definitely keep an eye out for bad plays, especially if you're only playing 4 tables. We have an under the gun limper. I'll definitely be committing with Jack 10 suited to the pot, as long as it doesn't get out of hand. Yeah, I'm just going to check it back. We've got 2 overcards to the board. And now we've got a good shot as well. But obviously I'm not sure how many of my outs are live. I'm just going to check it back. There's no point fighting for a pot that's only 175 when I'm likely to be good here with ace high. Yeah. Villain bets 50, the one that limped in first, and he takes it down. It's a weird line to limp, check, 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 and then bet. Another thing is, as you can see, none of these players are on the same second table as me. So, just goes to show, don't think Unibet's that big for regulars, just because, well, for a number of reasons probably. It's still a new site. The website, the site itself, the software doesn't allow for too many tables to be opened by a player. I'm folding pocket twos, there's nothing really I can do there. I could have tried to check raise, but my line doesn't really make a lot of sense to bet the flop and then check raise the turn. But we're kind of getting short stacked on that table, so we need to be on the lookout for spots to double up and take big pots. $10-5. Once again, I'm not going to be committing chips unless it's just limped around to me. I've got a flush draw with our 10. I might stick around for one bet, just see if we get it. If Sovis checks, I'm gonna take a stab at the pot. As everyone checked on the flop, I don't see too many players having an ace in their hand. Okay, so we've got a straight, so now I really don't see our opponent having a flush. If he flops a flush, then that's just unlucky. So I have to bet for value. I put him on a flush draw when he called the flop. Oh, sorry, when he called the turn. Check fold in, Jack 6 off. Again, you can see these players just love limping in pre-flop and then just giving up on the flop. Not really taking an aggressive style poker, which is really what you should be doing in a sit and go. Well, tight aggressive for the most part. Jack 6, we've got 15 big blinds now. There's no need to panic though, I'm just one hand away from doubling up and kind of taking control of the table. Everyone's still in. Oh yeah, I folded King 6 under the gun. Four-handed, I think it's a bit too loose to be opening that. We would have flopped top pair, but shouldn't be results oriented. Flop second pair, I'll be sticking around for one bet at least. I'm gonna bet myself because I don't want to give flush draws and straight draws a free card. With ace queen, I actually think I have to fold due to the fact that Papa 10 has been limping in under the gun and then taking passive lines, which would represent weaker hands. So for him to min raise, he probably does have a strong hand, but something in me just wants to 3-bet shove this, which I will do. I expect to get called and be crushed, but it's the first spot I've had 2 3-bet shoves, so I'll just take it. He tank folds, so he probably had my guess would be a pocket pair of some kind, maybe 8s, 7s, 8s. So it wasn't a clear decision if it was ace king, ace queen. He would have snap called me, but obviously when he tank folds, it's not a premium pocket pair, it's not a premium offsuit or a premium unpair hand. With king 9, we get 2 callers to queen high flop, but I'm still gonna continuation bet. I'm gonna make it slightly larger than half pot. We get 1 caller, and since we get called on the flop, I'm gonna go for pot control and just check it back. If he had a queen, he's likely to just check and either induce a bluff or try and hero call, thinking that I might have a queen, that I might have a flush. But when he bets out like that, it's likely that it's either a straight with a 6 or he's actually got a flush. The straight's less likely, seeing as he bet out like immediately as the 7 came, so he didn't have time to slow down and think, oh, I've got a straight, so I'm gonna bet. He just kind of bet when the flush came, so I'm assuming he had a flush there, or she, sorry. Apologies, Mary, the one that she looks like she's got a brown on her head, but who are we to judge? We're Jimmy Bullard. Pocket 3s, this is kind of that awkward spot I was talking about. we've got 14 big blinds. We're under the gun with a weak pocket pair, so when we raise, we're only really wanting to get the blinds. If we get called, we don't really want to play post flop with pocket threes, and to be going all in with 14 big blinds is a bit of a spew. This player limp re-raised me. I've got pocket queens. I'm not too deep stacked, so I'm just going to shove it in. And he's got ace jack, and we had to dodge a spade or an ace on the river. Had a fair bit of odds, but we managed to get there. If he shoves, I was going to call him. I'm going to try and isolate the limper. Like a 3x, yeah. Here we're in the big blind. We flop 3 6s, which is a bit devilish, I know. I'm just going to bet 100, expecting to stick around with any ace, any of the flush draws obviously, any 7. There was a fair bit he could have continued with, but don't think he had anything there. We're playing 12 big blinds effective. I think I can still min raise fold if he 3-bet shoves us. When he calls us and the flop's 7 high, obviously we've got top pair. I don't think there's anything I can do apart from just betting. If he's trapping us with a better hand, well played. Yeah, ace 5. Oh, we get a straight. See you later. Get out of jail free card there. Turned me almost dead. Ace high, we're in the big blind. Murray just limped in. Sovis completed, so Sovis could have a wide range of hands because he only had to invest 50. Murray's likely to have a decent hand. I'm gonna bet small for value. But when I get raised, so we've got aces, 9s with a queen kicker. If he's got ace king, I don't really see him playing ace king that way. Or, well, jack 10, okay. I did not consider jack 10 at all. That was bad for me. Okay, so now we're on the bubble on the top left table. I'm gonna complete with king 2. Min raising kings. Hope for some action. I'm not folding that at all. Hopefully Fisherman finds a hand. He doesn't. We're folding king high on this board. I'm obviously continuing. For only 240 once again, it's queen 2-2 flop. I don't expect him to have any 2s in his range ever. So I'm just going to continue. Hope that he has a queen. And then if he had a queen, he would have shoved over the top. And I would have snapped him off. Pocket 3s, Fisherman, or I don't know, it's Fishman or something related to fish and men. It's a bad flop for us, obviously. Most flops are bad for us anyway when we have pocket 3s. So I'm just not committing any chips to this pot. Just checking it down. Come on, someone bet. Someone give me a reason to fold. We're not hero calling anything on the river, especially now that the flush came in as well. If Sovis shoves, I have to fold obviously. Human raises as well. We have jack 5. See if I'm good here. I'm just never gonna play on a different site. Okay. I was gonna say, if 17th pair was good on that board, and they just checked it down. Pocket 5s, I'm now folding, but I wasn't sure what to do if it folded to me and Envy Youth, AV Youth, I'm butchering his name. If I raised and he shoved, I would have had to call, even though I would not have been happy about it. We get called by the small stack, so don't expect him to have air here, so I'm just gonna check it down. When it's checked down like that, he's either got hearts or a weak pocket pair that he just wants to go to showdown with, something like 7s or 6s. Ace would have bet, even some kings would have bet given my action. So, okay, if he limps, I'm gonna just shove over the top. He limp folds when he's got, my maths is bad, 6 big blinds, which is a terrible play. Should never be doing that because you're just losing money. It's cheap to commit chips from the small blind to the big blind, yes, but you need to be taking an aggressive action because you want to steal the blind. And now we're in a position where we should survive in both tournaments. There we go, I've probably just jinxed myself. I'm gonna bubble both, but we have middle stack on both of these tables. Just the way I've played, I have to call off, and he 3-bet shoves with Jack 10, flops the nuts essentially, and gets there obviously. So we double up. I was beginning to say I'm quite experienced in managing kind of middle-ish stack when there's a small stack. I know what situations to get into, what situations to avoid, but now that we've doubled up the small stack, there's less of that. You kind of just need to go after chips, even if they are from the chip leader. We get called on the flop, so I'm just going to give up now. We do have a gut shot to a straight. He bets rather big here. The total pot is including his bet, so here I think we have to shove. So he's probably betting to protect something like a weak 2-pair hand. There was 2 flush draws and a straight draw there possible, so 2-9 offsuit, I'm not going to be playing that. These two can get into battle and hopefully Murray comes out on top. Ace Jack will be getting it in if there was any action. 3-9 offsuit, I'm not playing that. I might just open shove here, blind v blind against the big stack. It's definitely a profitable play. I wonder what he's thinking so long about. What kind of hand he's thinking so long about. Gut shot to a straight and a flush draw. We miss everything, so I'm just gonna check him up. I probably could have bet on the river, yeah. We're flopping open ender with 2 overcards, so I'm going to be bet, and I'm going to be calling a shove if he shoves. Or she. I keep changing her sex. I blocked the straight and I blocked diamonds as well. Oh wow, I just folded to a guy sitting out, so I'm just going to bet. I think I basically had the nuts on the river there. Yeah, that was kind of bad. I folded when Predko was big blind and he was sitting out, so that was 163 chips, or 200 I missed out on. Was this the guy? That was the other guy. That was pretty bad. The min raise folded with 10 big blinds. you always need to have a plan for the hand before you actually carry out your action. So for example, I'm going all in here, checking back 8-9, we have a gut shot to a straight. I'm not just calling to hit the 10, I'm also calling because I've got backdoor spades. I'm also calling to slow him down, see how he proceeds. An ace comes on the river, which should be a scary card for him as well, and when he bets smaller than the pot as well, I'm thinking maybe call the turn and then check raise the river big, or just lead the river actually. She's unbluffable, this lady. Yeah, she had the nuts on the flop. Top pair and a flush draw. She was never getting off that. Ace 10 from the button, we have to shove. And just like that, we're shortest stacks on both tables. Oh wow. I need to stop running into aces. The last couple of days just keep running into aces. I'm gonna open up another game, and whilst it's waiting, I'm gonna open up another sit and go, but only for $1 or €1. I'm gonna be shoving blind on blind against Marie. Someone needs to take a stand against her. Queen 2 suited, I'm not going to be playing. That's what we like to see. Call, call, call. That was kind of a bad play from her, to be leading out on such a board and then just giving up. If you make that play, you should be ready to, in my opinion, if you're betting 200 into someone that's got 1,200, you should be expecting them to shove. Actually, I'll just close down this because the 5 max is almost ready. King 3 not going to play. Once again, we've got nothing, so I'm just going to check back. Marie just plays so many hands. Apologies for that, I'm just changing the song because it's a YouTube playlist I'm on. A6, if there's passive action before me, I might just shove over the top, such as a limp. We saw her limping in 5-6 suited before, so she's definitely limping in a wide range of hands. Queen 3 suited, I'll just give up that one. But he's just dominating this game, like there's no tomorrow. King 9 offsuit. Five 8 suited, sometimes I shove that, sometimes I don't. I think Marie probably calls a bit too wide for my liking. Most players would call like a bit tighter than her, so 5-8 suited would be a decent shove there, but when she calls wide, right. Wow, she calls with a gut shot. So this time she did bet and call on the flop, but she just wasn't good, and that's kind of a bad play. If you're gonna bet out, you need a reason to bet. You can't just bet and then call as a semi-bluff. It's not what makes decent poker. I'm going after her now that she's lost a bit of chips. she just snaps me off. 5? Okay, no 5. I thought she was gonna be a bit tighter now that she lost, but she doubled up the other opponent, so that's why I decided to shove. Plus, I didn't really make that many shoves blind v blind against her, to be fair, so it was one of the few that I did make. We're up against Mr. Pirate here on the heads up table. I'll be calling a min raise. We flop 2 pair. I'll be check raising that if he gives me the option to, which he does. I'm check raising to 195 and I'll be calling a shove. He's min raising most of his hands. He's continuation betting a lot of his hands as well, so he didn't necessarily have to have anything there. I think there's an argument to be made for just calling his bet on the flop and then proceeding from there. A 3-2 offsuit, yeah, I'll just be checking back. So we see that the first hand he played on the button, he min raised. The second hand he limped, so he's probably got a different kind of range. So he's got some raising hands, some limping hands, which definitely we should be on the lookout for, so maybe his limping hands should be weaker. I might just hero call this, because I'm a hero. 5-3. Yeah, so he limped 5-3 offsuit, so he's limped and shoulders a weak hand, so we're just gonna use that information when constructing his range. That's the first 3-bet that he's done the whole game. In about 3-1, but a weak hand, so I'm just gonna fold it pre-flop. It's no shame in folding pre-flop if you're not sure about what your opponent's doing. So he has a min raise range, a limping range, and the 2x raising range. So against his 3x range we should be calling tighter than Jack 9 suited, and generally should proceed with caution. I'm going to fold 10-3 off. If he limps, I'll just attack it pre-flop, as we've kind of established that, or we think that he's got a weak hand. And yeah, he folds pre-flop. I was like, please don't 3-bet me, because I don't know where you're at still. I will continuation bet. Check min raises. I'm gonna fold. Doesn't necessarily have to be a king there, but I think he had something they should have been afraid about. We have a full house on the river. He checked around to us on the turn. Hopefully no one has a higher pocket pair. If he has, we kind of wanted to be called by 7 there. 7 only really. I'm gonna check to him. He checks back, so I think I can make a play at the pot even though I've got a pair anyway. When I get called on the turn, so spades came in. He could have a straight draw, I suppose. He checks back. Yeah, it was probably some straight draw. That's another thing, is I'm not sure how to check your opponent's cards once they call you on the river and they mark. I don't know if you even can on Unibet, but it's one of these things. It's still an amazing sight. 8-3, once again he limps, so he's likely not to have a decent hand. So he's probably not connected with that board at all. The 4 is actually the most likely thing he's connected with. Yeah, I'm just gonna check and see what. Oh, so I guess if I called him on the river with 8 high, I would have been good as well. That would have been a bit sick. I actually thought about it. I'm not just saying it. I did think about the hero call with 8 high. Oh shit. Second 5 max tables opened up. So we'll kind of stack him and back him for now. Once again a limp pre-flop, so I'll just go ahead and attack it just now. He calls us on the flop. So given his limping range, it's likely to be a 4 or a 10 or hearts. Against which I think I can make a second stab on the turn. And yeah, he gives up. I can still min raise. I think I've got a decent enough stack for that. I think that's one mistake that players make heads up, is when they kind of make their hands transparent, especially when they've shown me weak hands when they've limped. You need to be on the lookout for that, because good players will use that against you, for sure. Okay, well, sorry, I'm not gonna call you with 9 high. Whoa, what happened here? Well, I guess we're heads up, boys. Well, I missed that completely, but it was queens against kings against tens. Didn't really see how the money went in, to be honest. I think it was on the flop, which was undercards, so that was a bit mental. He limps again. I've got a good shot with waiting for a 9. I'm calling, but again, I'm not just calling for the 9, I'm calling for him to slow him down. This time I'm just gonna give it up. Giving it up. Ace 5, I'll min raise. He's called me here, so there shouldn't be too many 6s or 7s in his range. So I'll just continue. King Queen. Yeah, I'll attack his limp. I should have made it a bit bigger. I expected to make it 3x, not 2.5x, but he still folds when he was getting a decent price. So. And this player, top left, he's now the monster chip leader. He's got about 41 advantage, but I'm not going to give up just yet. Hopefully I can grind him down somehow, get in his head. Once again I'm in raising. He loves the 3x, so 3x is probably his standard raise size. So I'm not going to make too many changes to my range in terms of flat calling from the big blind. Yeah, we're a bit too deep for me to call that. 3x and ace jack off. Don't want to make it too obvious that I know that he's up to no good, but... Okay, so we don't think he has an ace. If he had... Okay, I'm going to continuation bet with ace 4. If he had a 5, he probably would have bet on the flop as well. King 2, okay. I'm gonna bet small, try and make it look bluffy. We get called. There's 2 flush draws on the flop now, or sorry, on the board, so now I need to bet to protect my hand, so I'm just gonna bet a bit chunkier. And now when I bet bigger, it kind of looks a bit like, does he really have 7-9 sort of thing, so he may just shove over the top. He clicks me back. I'm just gonna kind of time down a bit, and I already know what I'm gonna do, which is just to shove. If he's got me beat, he's got me beat. He's got a better 8, which is just a bit of a cooler. Good game, sir, you deserve to win that one. I'll just stick to 2 tables just now. This guy in the heads up, like, he's making me work for that money. It's hard for him to connect on that board. It's clubs, ace, or a 9, really. Yeah. I don't think there was any way for me to get him off a hand. There wasn't any fold equity there when you bet that big on the turn, on the river. And he folds when you get a decent hand, which is unfortunate. Been raising ace-10. Hopefully 3-bet shoves us. He didn't. Actually, against some players, you don't want to induce with ace-10. This is one of these players. I've not seen him 3-bet too many hands, so his range could be really narrow. But then ace-10 this deep would be a bit of a cooler, ace-10 suited especially, to get in against the hand that's actually dominating you. 5-10 offsuit. I'll attack pre-flop. And he goes up, yep. I've got stuck now that I think I can just limp a standard instead of min raising, because we're a bit too shallow for me to be min raising and playing post flop. Sometimes when I min raise, he calls me, I see bet, he calls me, and then kind of have to shut down and I lose to say 4 big blinds instead of committing 2 instead if I do the exact same thing by limping and then stabbing on the flop. $5-10 off, I can't really do anything to that. I'll just open shove ace-7 off. We might induce a call by something worse because it's the first hand I've done it, and he might be a bit confused and might put me on something weaker than what I've actually got. Not saying that it will happen all the time, but there's a possibility there. Folding 7-2, obviously it's not exactly the nuts, pre-flop. So far the session I'm down a bit, about 10 euros or something. It's obviously one session. Ace-3 off, I'm gonna shove, pre-flop, attack his limp. The strongest hand is shown as when he's limped is King 2 suited, so I'm not too scared of his limps. And I don't think he's the kind of player that has it in his blocker to just start limping to trap with monster hands. But Jimmy Bullard needs something to win this game. It's just stagnating a bit. I'll just open shove again. I've done it twice now, so I was hoping that he's gonna call me. I actually don't like using this fold to any bet button, because when you check it, when you click on it and it immediately checks your hand, it kind of shows weakness, because the other opponent will be like, okay, well, he just checked, he had that button clicked, so he was ready to muck his hand. So from then, to kind of have that information that you were weak post pre-flop. Okay, so we've got an open ender, 7 or queen for a straight, and we get there on the river. We've got the nuts, well, almost nuts. I'm gonna bet, hope to get called. Queen 10 would be brutal here, we just get snapped. Oh sorry, Queen Jack would have been brutal, but probably had a one pair kind of hand. 8.5 big blind steep, for me it's fine to open shove A7 suited. Just checking back with my Queen 8. My Queen 8 on both hands, both tables. Our opponent checks. I'm gonna bet to protect. I'm gonna bet 70. I don't want to give any jacks or any kings a free card. I don't really think he's got an ace, yeah, when he just checks to me. Because on that kind of board you should be betting an ace to protect it. Again, I'm just gonna carry on shoving with my ace high blind on blind. Sorry about that, I was just checking the phone. $3-7 off, so I'm gonna fold. If he limps, yeah. Rinse and repeat, I'm just doing the same thing I've been doing to him all whole game. And oh, it's a bit brutal that. Jimmy Bullock just gets it done on whatever. I'll just play another heads up actually, because it's a bit more hands. So one heads up, one normal game. Playing against the Russian lady. Oh, hello Russian lady. We flop middle pair with the gut shot, so I think it's worth it out to stick. I'm not falling into that bet. I don't necessarily put him or put her on a 10 yet, so I'm just gonna hero call. Yeah, she did have a 10. I just expected her to bet bigger with a 10, so. There we have a guy sitting out on the top left table, so that's something to look forward to, stealing his blinds. Uh, 7-5, I'll flat to him anyways. We have a gut shot to a straight, 2 overs to second pair. Yeah, I kind of turned my hand into a bluff. Well, I was bluffing because I had nothing at all, but given the action I didn't really expect her to have anything too much. Might be a mistake actually to check back that flop. I expect my 7 to be good, yeah. Just gonna fold. I'm gonna wait for Magnolium to be a big blind so I can start attacking his big blind, as opposed to just going after other players. So she's min raised and now she's 3xing as well, so she's kinda got that different raising range, different sizing, and then as such we need to be on the lookout for that. Okay, so this is the first 3-bet that she's made against this, so A7 plays bad against 3-bet ranges in general, so no thank you. I don't know why I want to play this hand. I'm min raising. I normally wouldn't min raise 9-7 off 9-7 suited under the gun. I have a feeling it's gonna get me in trouble, but I will carry on. I'm such an action junkie sometimes. I just overdose on hands that I shouldn't. Ace for off. Nah, you're alright, mate. Gonna stick to min raising. 9-5 offsuits. Nothing I can do really in this hand. So not be committing any chips to that. If I raise her here, I think it looks stronger than just calling. Because calling, it's a dangerous flop, but I can't really represent anything. I've got a double gut shot now, and we missed that as well. She called a check raise on the flop, so she must have something. So for me to call with an ace high, I must be an absolute lunatic, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Yeah. High off D. Yeah, that was a really bad call on the river. I should have just check raised. Don't really know why I didn't do it again. Kind of getting short though, so I really should start limping now. We've got top pair and a wee bit of a flush draw, so I'll just carry on, and then I was going to call a shove as well if she shoved. 2-3 offsuit, I'm not continuing with that. Junk. Two 6 offsuit, again it's one of these hands that will fold from the button. Our opponent here has 7 big blinds, so I'm just going after him. He calls us with the worst hand. So oh, I actually didn't mean to call. Didn't mean to call that. But we flopped trips, so when I call her on that board, I expect her to know I've got something, but now I just have to go all in. If she's got me beat, pocket queens. Yeah, she kind of got married to the hand. Well, no, it was a cooler, what time do Poker Tube stream cash? I'm not too sure of the schedule itself. I think it says it on the page underneath the video window, but if you want I can just load up some cash games on Unibet, because I'll be playing on Unibet for another hour or so. And the sitting goals are not going great, so I might just load up a couple of foreign L tables, but I'm by no means an expert, so do take my place with a pinch of salt and maybe a beer or two as well. I'm going to main raise just because I haven't been active the last couple of buttons, so expect her to think I've got a stronger hand than I actually do, even though it was one of the worst hands I had. You have to play the position or the situation, not just the hand. 4-3, wow. Wow, old bones. That was bad. So women raised, I'm gonna continuation, but I'm gonna main raise against him. Hi, Utsbert. I hope I'm not butchering your name. It sounds Austrian or Swiss or German. Utsbert. Yeah, I'll do my best to grind it up. On Unibet, I've never actually invested any money of my own. In December, I signed up, it was the 1st or 2nd of December, and they basically give you 10 or 12 euros free. 12 euros free money to use on their cash tables, which is about, well, it's exactly 6 buy-ins. And yeah, I kind of just grinded that up. Within a month I had 250 euros, so from 10 euros free I went to 250, but since then it's kind of been break even, or just losing money slightly, which isn't not great obviously, but I'm going to continuation bet with my mid pair best kicker. I'm going to hate life if she shoves on me. Too big a fish to fold. Yeah. It's alright. I've been making all the bad calls today, but I'm getting lucky on the river. Jimmy Bullard gets it done on the river again. I do apologise to the guy. Magnolium. I'll call this min raise only because Magnolium will be all in, so we want 2 hands against his. I don't know why I called the river there as well, but sitting goals, I actually play. This is 4 euros because I'm kind of using a bankroll management after all, even though I'm not grinding this site. I'm playing for 4 euros. And the heads up one is €1. I could easily play that for 4 euros as well. I try a big stack strategy, BRM 2.5, I know it works quite good for now, hopefully we'll make 10-20 in a few months. What country are you from again? You're from Germany? I'm not really too sure what sites are available to you, but I would actually advise people to go to smaller sites. I mean, PokerStars is a good site, there's plenty of fish there as well, but some of these smaller sites can be really profitable as well, the ones that you don't really expect. On min raising and then getting it in, if she falls for it. Can't believe how many times I've rivered someone today. Magnolium's going all in. I'm calling, and we expect Huramato to call as well. Yeah, I mean, if it's working out, just Main open with ace-8 suited, or shove with ace-8 suited is better. Can you explain? It really depends on the situation. Depends on the effective stack sizes. Depends on your opponent, what their frequencies are. Are they likely to call? If it's blind on blind and the effective stack is, say, 10 big blinds, I would always shove it. So I just think it depends on the situation. There's I'm gonna be min raising and then calling the big blind, the small stack even. There's a guaranteed cash stream at 3 PM on Sundays, so this will be 4 PM your time, Udsbert, if you were the one asking me. Oh no, sorry, it was the other guy. I don't know if you're same time zone, but 3 o'clock UK time, Sunday afternoons, will be cash stream guaranteed, and that will be for 3 to 4 hours, so if you come on for that. Okay, so we dodge the outs. I'm calling here. It's a minimum investment to try and knock him out. Yeah, kind of trapped him there with aces, but there's not much he can do. 8-8-8, look for fishier sides. Says it. Yeah, there's 8-8-8's one of the fishier sides out there. I'm not a big fan of the software though. We have an open end there. Jimmy Bullard gets it done on the river again. Right, so I'm just gonna check. Actually, no. I play double or nothing games far too much. I should have just bet on the river there because I was still playing against Kuramoto. We have raised. We've been called. It's an ace high flop. Obviously, he has no tens left, but I'm still going to continuation bet. Hope that he has a 10. Sorry, that he has an ace. The software is looking like Windows 3.1. I don't remember Windows 3.1. I don't think I had a PC back then, but yeah, I don't like 888, the software itself, but the games can be really soft. And you need to figure out what works best for you. I mean, I actually think that Unibet, the site that I'm playing on just now, is probably the best software in terms of how it looks for recreational players. Because I remember when I first started playing poker back in 2008, it was Full Tilt that I played on, and obviously Full Tilt has the avatars, everything like that. I still didn't know obviously what HUDs were and stuff like that. So for me it was quite cool to have like the avatars, and it felt like a really fun site to play on. It's almost like you didn't think about the money, you just played to have fun. And I have a feeling that Unibet is the closest thing that we've had since, in terms of making poker very appealing to recreational players, which is what they're trying to do. Open shoving for 32 big blinds, or sorry, for 31 big blind effective. I'm not going to be calling that with pocket 2s. If I had pocket 5s or better, I would have called. Now that he's checked, I don't really think he's got anything. Is there a good promotion for first deposit or something for building a bankroll? Yeah, there is. They have. So when you sign up, you get 10 free euros that you can use on their cash tables, or 12, I think it is. 12, sorry. So that's about 6 buy-ins. €2 each for cash tables. So you're playing with 50 big blinds, 2 and 4 limit, and you need, I'd be lying if I said how many hands, I can't remember now. You need so many hands to unlock the bonus, so after you unlock it you get that 10 free euros, if you haven't lost it obviously, or 12 euros. And they also have these missions which you can complete, and you can get tickets to tickets to tournaments, sit and goal tournaments, multi-table tournaments, cash tickets. So you can definitely start a bankroll from scratch. That's what I did. I just played there for fun, and it just... But... easy beat cash. Do you mean the games are... I'm confused. I played 10.25 on cash Unibet. I mean, I struggled, like whenever I've taken a shot at 10 NL, I've just gotten brutalized. Mixture of bad play and running bad, and not playing that many hands as well. So even 10 NL is kind of bad for me, but the games themselves are soft. Really don't understand what this guy's on about on my heads up table. I can see if we have a jack, we're splitting the pot now. Yeah. Even Party Poker, I don't know if you've played on it. Party Poker is a really good site to start from scratch as well. Last summer I turned 50 cents into 250, because they've got these missions that you can complete, and I basically started with less than a buy-in for any decent cash game, and I just carried on making money. I'm going to be check shoving here with my gut shot and flush draw. I've got a fold equity and I've got outs as well. Yep. Yeah, that was a pretty decent one, because what happened was I won 2 tournament tickets. One of them was for $10, the other one was for $5, and with the $10 one I finished in 6th place in this tournament for about 100, and then in the $5 tournament that I entered with that ticket was I finished in the money again. I made about $20 or something, so yeah, it was an insane upswing. Let's take it to cash down. Okay, after these 2 games, I promise I'll fire up some cash. Kashish. Right, I'm getting brutalized here. I'm not really thinking about the hands heads up, which is kind of bad. It's kind of what you need to do when you're playing heads up. I'm limping here. Calling again, hopefully he shuts down, or he's given up on an ace before on the turn. You guys are getting me out of my comfort zone, because cash is not my game by no stretch, but I'll play some for you. I don't think he has an ace. Wow. I really butchered this game against this IO Nuts guy. It's alright, I'll just river a 9, it's cool, it's standard. Okay, we lose that game. That's true, that's true. In 4NL especially, when I was playing in December, some of the hands that I saw, I genuinely couldn't believe what I was seeing. Like, you had people going in blind every single hand. Sorry, I don't believe you for a king. Yep. Do you use a HUD? Normally I do, but I'm playing on Unibet, and Unibet does not allow HUDs. Sky Poker doesn't allow HUDs either, as far as I know, and those are the two main sites that I play on just now. If I was playing on Full Tilt or Poker Stars, I would play, and I've got both the Hold'em Manager and Poker Tracker, so I just kind of switch whatever works better for me at the current time. Not much. I agree with that. Yeah, there's no need for a HUD on Unibet. It's weird whenever I play cash or just anything there, I don't even have that many reads, and I still kinda know where I am in situations. It's probably a bad way to look at it, but right, after this, I'll just minimize this game and start up. Hi Bassi93, I think you've just joined, I'm guessing, so welcome. I don't know if I should give it out. I like to keep secrets. I like to be like Isildur when he was starting out. No, Unibet, it's really worth using Unibet. It's got 6 big blinds, I think it's a fine shove, queen high. 7-9 suited. I'll give you my nickname on Poker VIP, you can track it down that way. It's Grow a Pair with a 0. That's me on... Actually, well, I think he looks like Jimmy Bullard, so that's why I went with it. Oh, we get rivered, okay, well. Thanks, Tubes. Cash game. I'll just play 4NL, I don't want to get butchered too much. The only thing I haven't really played on Unibet is the Omaha. I just can't get my head around Omaha sometimes, so I don't grind Omaha. But No Limit Hold'em, I've tried SNGs tournaments and cash, and they're all easy, they're all soft. But make sure you sign up through PokerTube so you can get into the top races and stuff. Because that's an extra, for me it's 10% rake back normally. You don't want to be missing out on that. Fast Hold'em. Apparently there's no players at all. I've never played Fast Hold'em on Unibet, and probably it's because no one plays it. I've never seen it advertised as such, which is a bit weird, seeing as they'll probably be able to generate a lot of rake through that if they get enough people playing it. Okay, there's a bet in the call and I've got a weakest pair, so I'm just going to get out of there. Let them battle it out. Guy goes all in on the turn. The pot's already, well, he's overshoving the pot. He doesn't have 8-9 ever, I don't think. Most likely he's got jack. He's kind of getting fruity with. I'm used to playing. It's when I started that challenge, with 10 euros. I was used to buying in for just 2 euros and just using that kind of. I hate calling here with ace 5. I'm out of position, so I'm just gonna fold. Watch the flop will come 2, 3, 4. Besides poker action, there's nice music. Do you listen to Skrillex? No, not really. The music at the moment is Liquidity playlist on YouTube, and it's liquid drum and bass that I prefer to listen to because it's kind of chilled out. I like dubstep as well, but old school dubstep. Scream. Don't really know. I folded ace 8. Wheezy Easy, welcome to the stream. It's nice to have you. Hi man, looking to get into poker. Where do you think I can read up as a fairly new player how to play well? There's definitely lots of advice you can find online. I'll just have a read. This is the site that I use just now. Obviously I've got a blog on there and stuff, and I'm not biased at all. But yeah, there's when you're starting out, especially, I think it's important to read up first a bit about the strategy of different games before you get into playing with money. You can play for play money if you want, but I don't think there's much point in that because people don't take it seriously. So I think it's good to read up and get some sort of an understanding about the games first, and then possibly discuss strategies with people that you know, or people on the internet. People on the internet are really they'll be glad to help you out with hands and any problems that you have, because that helps their game as well, so it's a win-win situation. You help them and they help you as well. Just gonna isolate this limper. And the best thing I would recommend is if you know someone that already plays poker in real life, just kinda pick their brain a bit, and that can really help you as well, because that's a really good way to start. One of my friends, I taught him poker last summer, and within 2 months he was basically crushing me heads up, which was not the best feeling to have. He beat me 11-0 in one session, and I lost £80 against him, but I'm just gonna check back here, and we're actually good. I don't think there's any value in me value betting with third pair. Yeah, I agree. I used to browse other communities before, but now I'm just on Poker VIP. I'll keep my own blog there. Was he lucky or unnatural? He's a bit of both. It's frustrating playing against him sometimes because he'll get it in and then he'll end up rivering me somehow, or... But I can kind of understand how he plays now, because obviously we've played each other a lot. But he's definitely getting good at poker. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? He actually left me a Facebook message being like, "Oh, come on Full Tilt and watch me. I'm on the final table of this tournament, and he just destroyed it. It was only a $5 tournament, but he finished first for 450, so it was a decent score still. So I was really impressed by how he was playing tournaments, because tournaments is not his best game either. I think he's better at cash. Right, I didn't see his stack, so I'm just going to be calling this guy. Is this my full-time job? No, not really. I mean, I'd like to be that good at poker, but I don't think I am yet. I'm kind of playing semi-full-time, if that makes sense. I'm just going to raise enough to put the short stack all in. Right, what is this? This Abdullah guy. If he shoves, I don't give you credit for a straight. No, sorry, for a flush, yeah. Okay, that was a bad play. No set, no bet. I told you guys I'm not good at cash, so do not take my play for like profitable play. He checks back. I have a feeling he actually river the queen here. I don't think he's got a king. No, wasn't betting. I need to stop investing so much money pre-flop with marginal hands like pocket nines. If it was only against the small stack, I think it's a fine call, and it's the right call to make. But against Abdullah as well, yeah, there's tens and stuff you need to worry about, clubs. So yeah, that was a bad call. Oh well. We all make mistakes. It's fun when you make mistakes in the casino though. Well, sorry, it's not fun when you make mistakes in the casino. One mistake can cost you £150, stuff like that. That's happened a few times as well. Yeah, he didn't have the flush. The way he bet it, I didn't think he had the flush, and had the open end there as well with the nines, so I guess he tricked me well. We've got second pair here with two kings and an 8. Everyone checks around. I'm gonna bet here to protect and find out where I am in the hand as well. I don't really want to see too many callers because we then have to shut down. King's Casino in Rosdanov. I've heard of Rozvadov, sorry. Where is Rozvadov? Rozvadov. I hope I'm not butchering that name as well. It sounds Eastern European, Russian or Ukrainian. Okay, bet on a call, so definitely I'm not good here. King 4, whoa, full house. Thanks to all the viewers that are watching me try and play poker successfully. Oh, Czech Republic. Is it in Prague? Prague's a really beautiful city. Beautiful city, good weather in the summer, and added bonus. Sorry, I almost said Hungarian. Czech Republic or Czech women are really good looking as well. Get called on the flop. I think this. I'm just gonna shut down. Should have. Let's adjust the line and see how it goes in these micros. 3x pre bet check raise. Cheap and delicious beer. Yeah, Kozel. Is that Czech beer? Kozel. Kuzel? It's got a goat, because that's what Kozel is in Czech, I'm guessing. Yeah, Amsterdam was nice. That wasn't the main reason why we went to Amsterdam though. Went there for the architecture and the Heineken experience, obviously. I'd be happy to go back to Prague and Budapest as well. Budapest is it's a nice city as well. Maybe not as nice as Prague, but there's still a lot to see and do. Should have a suggest line and see how it goes on these micros. 3x pre-bet check raise with the next hand. So what? The very next hand, definitely. Okay, we'll do it on the button. So I'll 3x if it's unopened. I'll 3x it myself and then I'll bet. And I'll just 3-barrel regardless. If I just get called on the flop, or pre-flop. If that made any sense at all. So if it gets to me on the button, and it's unopened, I'll 3x it. If it just gets flat, if it just gets flatted by the blinds, I'll bet, flop, turn in, river. Ace-9. Yeah, well, depending on the texture of the board as well. Because we do want our hand to make some sort of a sense, not just blasting money into oblivion. Are you playing without delay? I'm not sure. I'm not actually sure if OBS has delay. At the moment I have ace... highs allow. There's no ads because Unibet doesn't allow it. I'm just laughing at me being a bit daft. So he limped pre-flop. He's betting pot on the river. Boom. He limps king queen. You're playing without delay. Am I? Oh well. There you go. People sniping your €2. If they are, they're more than welcome. Wow, yes, Wheezy easy, yes, I actually am a CSGO player. Well, yes, pair of 2 stakes it down. I'm a CSGO player, yeah, I've played CSGO for a bit. I've played CS 1.6 more, but yeah, it is actually meant to be Inferno. Well spotted. There should be a prize for someone guessing that correctly. Yeah, I was really shocked when I saw these pictures of the maps as well, because it looks like one to one to the map, so they've obviously taken that from somewhere in real life. I don't really know what it is, but yeah, CSGO poker, bit of a player, lol. Thing is, I don't really care about skins in CSGO. Like, whenever I get anything, I just sell it off. I'm not that bothered about skins. I know someone that has spent $1.5 grand on opening boxes and stuff, which is a bit weird. why you would spend that much on a game that costs 10 quid. Oh, Abdullah, I hate playing against you. I never know where you are in a hand. So he called from the big blind. He's not likely to have connected with that though, surely. With turn. I'll give you keys then if you want. Okay, that sounds like a deal. See if he check raises me here, I'll not be happy. We've got a straight, but I still think we need to bet. It's not likely that he has anything, to be honest, but okay, so he min raises us. I really hope he doesn't have pocket fours pre-flop. I'm just gonna try and get it in now, or else there's no flush possible. Oh wow. Like, go on then. Did you get a full house? 6-5. Okay. Well, that also works. It's always fun when you outplay someone post flop and then you just get hammered by the deck on the river. Although to be fair, today I've been rivering people left, right, and center, so I probably shouldn't be complaining about that. I feel like I was committed to play that for 4 cents. Apologies guys if you can hear that very loudly, but I'm getting dehydrated from talking to myself and you guys for an hour and a bit now. Does he really have any 8s or kings in his range? No, there's far too much to the speed. There's far too much to the speed in me, like king or an 8 is a straight, so yeah, that was a bad bluff. Does Unibet have pace safe compatibility for depositing? I can just have a look for you if you want. I've never actually deposited, I'm bragging here, I've never actually deposited on Unibet, and I've never withdrawn as well, so apparently you can pay with the pay safe card, yes, maximum £1,000. I don't really know what a pay safe card is, but apparently you can use it. I wouldn't mind the 4 of diamonds on the river. 4 of diamonds? Or 9 of clubs? One thing I would advise, You'd you were from Germany, yeah? So you guys have the euro, and Unibet uses euros as well. I would advise to use the same currency as you are with Unibet. So what I mean is, if you have, let's say, Skrill, for example, on dollars, and if you try and put money on Unibet, you kind of lose money from conversion rates, is what I found out generally. You kind of lose money due to conversion rates when you put money in and when you take money out. So if that pay safe card is in euros, just use that to upload money or put money in. Deposit money, not upload money. Yeah. Don't really think there's any size that can make it. that I can comfortably play post flop. So if I'll just ship it pre-flop. Oh wow, and we get snapped by Jack 9. Okay. Prepaid way to get deposits. Yeah. Well, I've not used that for PokerStars. For PokerStars, I've only used Skrill. Well, and PayPal. And for me, I'm from the UK. For me, PayPal actually works out the best because my PayPal currency is pounds. I play on Sky Poker with pounds as well, so it doesn't convert the money at all, so it just takes it as it is, so I don't lose any money from withdrawing or anything like that. And the same with Party Poker actually. Last time when I took money out, it was exactly the same as it was in the account, so for me PayPal works the best because of that, because I don't want to lose money from conversion. We flopped up pair, so I'll just be betting for value on the flop. He called us from the... Okay, alright. We'll just oblige by calling him. Okay, we get trips. Is he gonna... Well, what could he have here? An overpair like 10s or... Jacks, he would have 3-bet pre-flop. I don't really think... If he's got a full house, he's not really getting away from that. If he's got pocket 3s, or pocket 7s, or pocket 9s, GG. Wow, and he just bet half his stack and folded, so that's quite bad. Kind of firing money into oblivion there. I have a feeling we're getting it in on this flop, and I have a bad feeling that we may be up against a bigger overpair, but yep, kings. Yes. Oh my god. Guys, this is the stream good luck. It's you guys that are giving me the run goods. You guys. I should be splitting my winnings with you. Yeah, but so far we've nearly doubled up on both tables, so not too bad. Calling with the QT, Queen 10. Skills to pay the bills. Yeah, it's just getting there on the river time and time again. If I check, I think he's gonna... bluff. But he checks a worse hand, or a better hand than me, so there you go. I guess we kinda saved money there, although I was thinking that he was gonna make it, turn his hand into a bluff. So people just get scared by that one overcard that hits the turn, and they're like, oh well, I had pocket jacks but now there's a king on the turn, so you could have a king. Well, you could have pocket 10s and you're beating him all the way, or queen 10 and he was still winning, so... Oh, Daimler gets a bad beat with aces. Unlucky. Welcome, it was a ghost. I think you've just joined, or I haven't seen you post before, so welcome. My friend who was telling you about earlier, the one that I taught poker, sometimes when he gets me on the river, he goes, they call me the canoeist because I always get on the river. Which I always find hilarious. Depends how much he beats me for. That's how funny I'll find it. We get a call from the small blind. We've got a middle pair. I think it's okay for me to continue on that board. He donks into us. I'm not folding second pair yet. Let's see if the queen slows him down. The queen doesn't slow him down. Just gonna give up. What happened to the music? There we go, sorry about that. I'm gonna fold. Actually, I've just realised I'm gonna make the tables a bit bigger as well. Hopefully you guys can see everything properly. I've been playing on Unibet pretty much since the launch of the new software. Great site to build a bankroll on. I know you're streaming, but 2 tables just seem mind-numbingly slow. Yeah, I know what you mean. Days on internet. Days on internet. Yeah, I feel like I spend more than days in my lifetime. I normally play 4 tables on Unibet. Now I've just built a brand new PC, I think I might be able to handle more, because before I've played up to 8 cash tables at once, but my PC was actually kind of coughing whenever I had 8 tables running, so now I've not really tried playing Unibet with more tables. Yeah, I might open up another table actually, if this is a bit boring for you guys. Alright, it's hard for him to hit that board, so I'm just going to cut a continuation bet. I folded the button here. I will flop 2 pair. Where are you hoping to get to with your bankroll? You got set goals. Just kind of run it up as much as possible whilst practicing decent bankroll management. But the thing is, I don't really play on Unibet. I play on Sky Poker most of the time now. That's the main site I play on. So Unibet's kind of my second site, where I play whenever I feel like it. Really, not too often. You should get into CSGO betting, man. You can make some serious money, easy. Yeah, probably I don't follow the professional scene that much. I used to on 1.6 when I used to play 1.6. Well, I still do, but I don't follow the professional scene. So I know there's like NIP, Cloud9. I know a handful of teams, but I don't really know who's the best or who can beat who. So yeah, I wouldn't start betting it. I wouldn't start betting there unless I thought I had an edge. Jimmy Bullard makes it 20. By the way, I'm really glad that you guys like the avatar. I just saw the avatar and I thought of Jimmy Bullard, so I was like, I have to use him as a nickname. On Unibet, you can basically create many identities that you can use. betting against 13-year-old Russian kids. I don't know what it is, but it seems like there's a lot of Russians that are just everywhere on the internet. It's like there was no internet 5 years ago, and now everyone's got the internet there. It seems. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Like, a lot of players in PokerStars are Russian, and a lot of them are good, and a lot of them are bad. Obviously, there's not just going to be sharks from Russia, but nah, I wouldn't be betting. I'll stick to poker and sometimes football. No, I have nothing against Russian players. Okay, nothing against Russian players on poker. On CSGO, yeah, but that's a different thing. When you have to play with someone who is from Russia and they don't cooperate, that kind of annoys me. But that happens with every... That's a team game and it's a bit different. Oh yeah, I was going to show you guys how the site is. So that's the bankroll there. I don't think you can actually hide that, which is unfortunate, because I'd love to hide my bankroll. And here you can change your identity once you've made... So you have your username that you log in with, and you have different identities that you can play with. I have... The one that I've used the most is Delboy, which you could say is my screen name on this. Oh, by the way. Psycho 2K15, Fat Santa 2K14, Delboy, I Am Normal, and Jimmy Bullard. So you can just change like that. And that's a really cool feature because it stops regular players attacking recreational players, so you can easily change your identity. I'm not sure how many times you can do it. I think there's a set amount of times you can do it, maybe 3 a day or 3 in a week. I think it's something like 3, but I'm not sure what the time period is. Yeah. We're opening Jack 10 from the bottom. I said I was going to open up more tables. I might just open up an MTT if there is one running, because MTTs are really good on Unibet as well. I keep saying it, but